Brinda, I want to come across to you first. You've been amongst those who've been a key part of the women's reservation movement. You fought for this for decades, quite literally. The government is now turned that promise into reality as far as the Lok Sabha is concerned. The Rajya Sabha is up tomorrow. What do you think of this historic day when a battle that you fought for so many decades is finally nearing fruition?
Is it really turning it into a reality? From what I have read about the draft of the bill that they have presented, they have very unnecessarily linked the bill to the census and to the completion of the exercise by a delimitation commission, which is yet to be appointed. And I believe that turning this bill into a reality will take very many more years. So the opportunity that the Modi government had in 2014 to do so, the opportunity it had in 2019 to do so, it did not do so for whatever reasons it can only explain. And now to be presented with a fait accompli, bringing a bill at the fag end of their term and saying, calling it some absurd name, Nari Bandhan, what does it mean? We are here as equals. What on earth are you trying to say? Patronizing, patriarchal? So quite frankly, I'm disappointed with the way that this is being done.
The counter to what you're saying is, it's better late than never. This promise has been made for more than 2 decades. No government ever mustered the courage to actually push it through. The UPA government could have done that from 2010 to 2014, but they were dependent on the SP and the RJD. They didn't. You must certainly acknowledge, ma'am, that the government has finally pushed this through, and the Prime Minister himself has staked his political reputation on passing this bill, and his government will be judged by how soon the bill actually becomes reality. So he's actually putting himself out there, and now the women of this country will judge whether it was just a jumla or indeed a serious promise.
I think it's all linked up. As far as the UPA government is concerned, it was the joint efforts of the UPA and those who were in support of the bill at that time that we did get it passed in the Rajya Sabha. I have written about the scenes which were there as part of the passage of the bill and the kind of barriers which were put even at the last minute. But it was adopted. There was a very good chance of it being adopted in the Lok Sabha. But as usual, patriarchal forces and those opposed to the bill sabotaged it. And it's taken from 2010 to 2023. My question is why? And are we just to just be so grateful that, well, at last we have got this and better late than never? What I am saying is that this government had the opportunity to do so because it had a majority. It had a majority of those who are in support of the bill. It refused to do so. It's brought it at the fag end of its term, and now it wants women to be eternally grateful. Well, my take is no. If you're serious, as it is, you've messed up, remove that clause. Delete that clause in the bill which links women's reservation with the census and with the delimitation process.
But it's the opposition, ma'am, that's wanting to link the women's reservation bill with the caste census. They're demanding that there be OBC reservation from amongst the reservation for women, and all of this potentially only seeks to delay the process rather than getting on with what is on the table. You're wanting to set the bar higher and thereby ensuring that it doesn't actually get implemented. What do you make of what the opposition is saying?
Well, I mean, have the people who talked about OBC said that they're not going to support the bill? I mean, we can all have opinions as to how to improve the bill, how to, include more sections in the bill. That's all fine, it's part of the discussion. But have any of these parties said that they're going to oppose the bill because there is no OBC reservation. I haven't heard that in any speech. They have made suggestions. That's fine. What are the amendments which have been moved? And what's going to happen when the bill is actually voted? We'll have to look at that. But I do believe that it is important for the government to delete the clause which links the bill to the census and to the delimitation process. I think that to a great extent will ensure that the bill will be implemented as soon as possible. This way, as it is, we've lost the opportunity in the 18th Lok Sabha. Na?
Okay. I want to go across to Sanju Verma on some of the things that we heard from Brinda Karat. You're objecting starting with the name, saying Nari Vandan. This reeks of patronizing patriarchy and it's unacceptable. What is this Vandan business? She's asking. Sanju Verma, let's start from there.
No, Rahul, I'm not obliged to respond to what Brinda Karat says about the Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam, reeking of patriarchy, because I'm an empowered woman in more ways than one, and I think it's a befitting name. But I just have this to say. I was listening to the almost 8 hours of speeches made by both the ruling party and the opposition. What struck me was Sonia Gandhi saying, "Ye apna hai. This is our bill. This is our idea." Rahul, you know it as well as I do, that at least on 4 occasions, if not more, be it H.D. Devegowda or be it Atal Bihari Vajpayee or even the Congress for that matter in 2010, there were repeated attempts to pass the women reservation bill, but it never came to fruition. And I always say that an idea is only as good as its execution. So while the Congress, Sonia Gandhi and Jairam Ramesh pat themselves on their back and clean till the cows come home, ये हमारा कांग्रेस का दिया हुआ idea है, which has been usurped by the BJP. The fact of the matter is, and the hard truth is, it may be difficult for some people from the opposition benches to digest as much. Who is bringing this to fruition? 454 people today voted in the Lok Sabha in favor of the women reservation bill, which is not just a 2/3 majority, mind you. It means that 83.6% of the members present and voting gave a thumping yes to the women reservation bill introduced by the Modi government on the floor of the Lok Sabha. Point number 1. Point number 2. Each time the Congress says that the BJP has changed its stance and suddenly it feels the need to show solidarity with the issues of women, I would like to remind them, and anyone who has an iota of knowledge in terms of political history, that in 2010, when the Congress brought this bill on the floor of the Rajya Sabha, where it was passed,
okay,
but it could not pass muster in the Lok Sabha, it was not the BJP. It was the Samajwadi Party and the RJD which actually did not support the Congress, and today the Congress is actually holding hands with the Samajwadi Party and the RJD